Just imagine yourself trying to concentrate in a classroom in the 80s with the magnetic glow of that green screen. This is the Apple IIe, and for many of us, it helped define the 80s and our childhood. Now, whether you owned one, played one at school, or laughed at your friend who owned one because you had a Commodore 64, you probably have some connection to this legendary machine. It was insanely popular, selling millions of units during its 10-year run, and teaching children everywhere about the ill effects of dysentery and that pizza can make a great epitaph. Then in 1986, its 16-bit successor, the Apple IIGS, emerged and created its own legacy. But during this transition, Apple announced a very interesting deal. Bring in your old Apple IIe to an authorized Apple dealer, and we'll upgrade your machine to a 2GS for the amazing low cost of $499, plus install charges. Now, at first glance, this does seem reasonable until you read the fine print and discover you must give your Apple IIe motherboard back to Apple. So really you have two options. You can upgrade the IIe to a 2GS, but still have to pay for a $500 RGB monitor, $400 3.5-inch disk drive, and a mouse. Or you can sell your Apple IIe, monitor, and all the redundant peripheral cards now supported in 2GS, and use that money toward buying an Apple IIGS. The end result of the upgrade was this, a Frankenstein monster-like machine that not even Mary Shelley could imagine. Not being very cost-effective, very few consumers actually bought the upgrade, so finding these models in the wild is extremely difficult. Based on the research I did, the exact number isn't really known, but low estimates put it around 700 or so, and higher estimates have it at a few thousand. Not counting clones and prototypes, this makes it the most rare Apple II computer around, with the exception of the Clearlight Superstar, which was an Apple II licensed computer from Clearlight Incorporated, and that sold less than 50 units. Ironically, if a Superstar popped up on eBay, I bet it would actually sell for less than the 2GS upgrade just because nobody even knows about it. Well, until now. Damn it, Brian, you're so stupid. Okay, well that's enough background. Let's actually take a closer look at the 2GS upgrade. Now essentially only 3 changes were actually performed. New branding via the nameplate and a tag on the bottom that shows a unique serial number and model number. A new metal base was installed to seat the 2GS motherboard and provide holes in the back to use the 2GS ports like serial, monitor, and ADB. And of course the Apple IIGS motherboard swap itself. Now let's take a quick peek inside to see how it all works. So basically you can see that there are 2 E-sockets for a keyboard and a numeric keypad soldered right into the motherboard. And the old power supply connects to its own 2E power socket, but actually sits just to the left of the board. A common misconception is that these upgrade boards themselves are rare, and I've actually seen them sell for hundreds of dollars on eBay, which I can only laugh at. Now why do I find that funny? Because all early ROM boards have the pads for these 2E connectors. About 30 to 40% of them have the pins pre-soldered like that board, but as you can see with this other one, the connections are still there. They're just not pre-soldered. So is a quick solder job really worth hundreds of dollars more? Well, that's for you to decide. There are some definite disadvantages to having an upgrade versus an actual 2GS. One of them is that you don't get the 2GS keyboard. The other, not all cards fit under this slanted case. Yeah, that can be annoying. My particular unit could use a little retro bright, but you can also see the school that owned it felt the need to carve their name right into the plastic. Ever heard of a marker, people? And not just in one spot. If I flip the lid around, you can see they also graffitied right on there. They even put their name on the floppy disk drives and even on the damn cards themselves. That's a little excessive. But even with its quirks, I'm very happy to now own a true Apple II rarity. And I hope you enjoyed this look at an interesting piece of Apple history. Thanks for watching.